in the conditioned stage are enacted for personal sense gratification. Doesn't see Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here the Kumāras, the reaction of Kumāras when they are forbidden by the Vaikuntha doorkeepers is explained here. Tabhyam mishatsu animisheshu nishidyamanaha. Tabhyam, by the Jaya Vijaya. The demigods are called as animishesha, means they do not blink their eyes. The Supreme Lord or the demigods of higher category, they have this excellent feature which is called as they do not blink their eyes, like fish. They are also called as animishesha, they do not blink their eyes. They are in the water, but they see within the water. For us, within the water means we close our eyes. So that is the facility what is given to them. The Supreme Lord and all his associates in the Vaikuntha, they do not blink their eyes. Even the demigods in the higher category also, they do not blink their eyes. That's why they are called as animishesha. Nishidyamanaha means when they are forbidden into the entrance into the Lord. Suarhatama hiyape hari pratihara pabhya. And they are, whom did they offend, whom did they stop? Suarhattamaha. They are the fittest of the personals who are qualified to be in the association of the Lord. They are not common people who are forbidden to enter into Vaikuntha. They are the best personalities. Uchuhu suhruttama didrikshata bang of the Vaikuntha doorman. So Upaplutakshaha, their eyes became red. And they started speaking. What did they speak will be the next verse. So here when the Kumāras, the translation reads, so when the Kumāras, although by far the fittest persons, Suarhattama hi api, were thus forbidden entrance by the two chief doorkeepers of Śrī Hari, Nishidyamanaha Tabhyam Hare Pratihara Pabhyam, while other divinities looked upon Mishatsu Animisheshu, their eyes suddenly turned red. Ta Upaplutakshaha Ishat Kamanujena Sahasa. Because of anger due to their great eagerness to see their most beloved master, Suhruttama Didirkshata Banga Uchuhu. So in that way the Kumāras' mentality is explained here. The purport Prabhupada explains the quality of a sannyasi and his dress, what facilities he got as a sannyasi when he wears a saffron dress. The saffron dress is particularly a passport for the mendicant and sannyasis to go anywhere and everywhere. Because the sannyasis, why do they travel? They are known as Parivirajikacharya. They keep going everywhere. When they are liberated, when they have experienced that self-knowledge, they want to pass on to others. That is their quality. This is their compassion upon all living entities. So they go everywhere. They preach this Krishna consciousness. They want people who are struggling in this material world to get enlightened by their association. The sannyasi's duty is to enlighten people in Krishna consciousness. So therefore they have no other business than preaching the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is their prime occupation. Achar, prachar. So they practice these principles and they preach to others so that everybody can become devotees. So Vedic sociological conception is that sannyasi should not be restricted. He is allowed to go anywhere and everywhere everywhere as he wants, and he is not refused any gift he might demand from a household. So this is some of the considerations. Like for example, when Nityananda Prabhu's father, Hadai Pandit, to his house a sannyasi had come. Some say Madhavendra Puri, some say another Vaishnava. So he came as a guest. So it is duty of the householder to take care of the guest. Atidhi Devo Bhava. The Atidhi is treated as the Supreme Lord. Here the person who has come is a devotee of the Supreme Lord, not a common man. Like Madhavendra Puri, the greatest devotee. So when he came there, when he started serving him, so Madhavendra Puri requested, I wanted one favor from you. He said, everything is at your disposal. Whatever you want, I will fulfill. So the devotee sannyasi asked, I wanted your elder son as my assistant. I wanted to have him so that I can travel everywhere as my brahmachari assistant. For a moment, Hadaya Pandit was thinking, how can I live without my boy? He is my life and soul. But the next moment he thought, as a father I am supposed to set example to my son. If I break away from my promise, what will my children will think of me? So even though at the personal inconvenience, he handed over his son to Madhavendra Puri. In that way, see, they were setting an example. As a grahastha, when a sannyasi asked something, they did not hesitate, even though it is their life and soul. So similarly, the doorkeeper should have known the four sages had no other business, and therefore to restrict them from entering the palace was not apt. See, all these things, why it happened, why the Kumāras were stopped, it is the will of the Lord, so that the pastime happens. So generally, the devotees in Vaikuntha are also the quality of the Lord. So they also could understand the personalities, and they could also guess the who has come, all these things and all. So why this particular ignorance manifested in this Jaya Vijaya? This will of the Lord. There is no other cause. And one more aspect is explained about how anger arises. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained, Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsam Sangas Tesho Bachayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamad Krodho Bachayate. By constant association, we meditate upon a vastu. When the desire is not fulfilled, anger becomes manifest. Because of too much attraction, we develop a desire, and but that the desire is not fulfilled, anger becomes manifest. So why did Kumāras become angry here? Because of their intense desire to have darshan of the Supreme Lord. When somebody had obstructed them in their intense desire, anger became manifest. So, is there any wrong that Kumāras should not have become angry? In Vaikuntha, anger should not exist. Because all these base qualities, anger is in the mode of passion. So how can anger exist in Vaikuntha when the Vaikuntha is free from all the modes? So it is explained here, this anger is not because of tamoguna. It is in the devotional perspective only. They were angry because they were forbidden to enter the palace to see the Supreme Lord. The difference between the anger of an ordinary person and that of a liberated person is that ordinary person becomes angry, his sense desires are not being fulfilled. Whereas a liberated persons like Kumāras become angry when restricted in the discharge of their duties for serving the Supreme Lord. It's a completely contrast in their experience. Material experience of anger is because of obstruction in sense gratification. Here it is because of obstruction in discharge of duties of devotional service. And the qualification of Kumāras was explained in the previous verse, Viditātma Tatpaha. They are experienced in this transcendental knowledge and self-realization. So they are not common men. So they had an understanding about spiritual knowledge, the Supreme Lord, and the practical devotional service. So they are the most qualified person. They are known as, that's why Suhuruttamaha. They are the fittest of the persons. So Jaya Vijaya should not have stopped them, but still the pastime happened. So sometimes a Lord who is known as Suhuruttamaha, the best well-wishing friend, he also becomes angry. But in context wise, he wanted to teach others, his anger is only. Like for example, Prabhupada was saying about this Govardhan Leela pastime. So Indra, every year the Nanda Maharaj used to celebrate Indra Yajna. So that because of, Vaishyas, for them agriculture is the basis, cow protection is the basis. In agriculture you get grass, grains are consumed by humans, the grass is given to animals. In that way, their occupation is taken care of, their livelihood is taken care of. And rain is the basic principle Annad bhavanti bhutani parijanyad anna sambhava. Only because of rains the grains grow. So with that basis, Nanda Maharaj was worshipping Indra. But when Lord Krishna thought that Indra has become proud, he has to be corrected. He diverted that Indra Yajna to worship Govardhana. Then Indra became very angry. He wanted to teach a lesson to Vrajavasis. So Prabhupada says in one lecture, Indra became very angry. What is this boy, cowhead boy? He has stopped my yajna. Even the demigods become very angry if the particular type of yajna is not performed. But Krishna proved your anger is not even compared with my little finger's tip end. Krishna showed what can your anger do. My tip of the finger could not do anything of your anger's response. That's why Krishna, with his left hand, with the smallest finger, which is insignificant, he held that Govardhana hill for 7 days. Your anger was of no use. So suddenly then Indra realized, oh, what a mistake I have done. I tried to test the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He came, he fell down at Krishna's feet and he begged forgiveness. So Lord also takes care of the situations. Only thing is to teach people in general. Because he wanted a system to be followed. Demigods are not independent personalities. You need not separately worship them. By worshipping the root, everything is taken care. Yata taror mola nisechanena trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashakaha. So when the root is worshipped, the entire tree is taken care of. So when you worship the Supreme Lord Narayana, Krishna, then all the demigods are also automatically taken care. As soon as the concoctions of material enjoyment are there, because of our association, we create a sort of lust or eagerness to enjoy them. And when that false enjoyment does not actually make us happy, we create another illusion known as anger. And by the manifestation of anger, the illusion becomes stronger. So, how that anger becomes lust or eagerness? Both ways it is possible. When our lust is not fulfilled, we become angry. When our eagerness is not fulfilled, we become angry. But it is under illusion category. It is covering our intelligence. As soon as a person who desires liberation from this material world should not fall under the control of anger, because when bewildered by anger, one becomes a source of greed for all others. So when we are angry, we are like that red hot fire. Ag babula. And what happens? Anybody near to us? When we are angry? Huh? What happens? Everybody will receive prasada. Our anger prasada. Śrī Radha Govindaki. In the form of either verbal scoldings or some beatings or kickings or whatever it could be. If nobody is there, we'll kick walls, we'll kick some floor, we'll kick the ground, all these things. So that is the nature of anger. It agitates our senses. We want to become relieved of that anger. Only thing is, we want to kick something. So what do Shastras say about this illusion of these material elements, like Kama, Krodha? Nasti akirti samo mrityur, nasti krodho samo ripuhu. So in this material world, there is no death like defamation. Neither there is any enemy like anger. Nasti nindasamam papam, nasti moha samasavaha. There is no sin like blasphemy, and there is no other intoxication like illusion. Nasti asuya sama kirtir, nasti kama samo analaha. There is no disgrace like envy, and there is no fire that burns to ashes like lust. Nasti raga sama pasho, nasti sanga sama visham. And there is no bondage in this material world like attraction, and there is no poison in this material world like association. See, this is what Shastras say, what we have to avoid, how dangerous they are there. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his pastimes also, he exhibited that eagerness. 2 occasions we can understand. One, when he wanted to reach Vrindavan, he exhibited intense eagerness. The second, when he wanted to have darshan of Lord Jagannatha, he exhibited that intense eagerness. So, you see, how many times did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu endeavor to go to Vrindavan? How many times? 4 times. The first one was when he took initiation from Ishwarpuri at Gaya. He wanted to go to Vrindavan because from Gaya to Vrindavan is very near. So he started off. After traveling for few distance, the demigod spoke to Lord Chaitanya, my dear master, this is not the right time. You will get an opportunity to have darshan of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, but right now you go back. So he came back. Second time was as soon as he took sannyasa diksha from Keshava Kashmiri. He wanted to go to Vrindavan. He was in so much ecstasy that 3 days, actually when he was traveling through that Ganga, because at that time Ganga is a combination of Ganga and Yamuna. So he was traveling, he was feeling that he was walking beside Yamuna. He thought he is almost near Vrindavan. So Nityananda Prabhu, understanding the mood, he diverted him and he brought him to Advaita Acharya's house. So at that time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back out of senses, so his eagerness to have darshan of Vrindavana was forbidden, but still he did not exhibit his anger. He accepted the situation. The third time was when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started for Vrindavan. He wanted to go through Bengal and then reach Vrindavan. So he went to Bengal, he went to his mother's place, he had darshan of his mother. From there he went to Ramakeli, he met Rupa and Sanatana. Then Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami instructed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, see, as a sannyasi you are going to Vrindavan, but you are carrying so many people as a group. And this is not the etiquette to reach Vrindavan in this way. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he reached up to Kanai Natashala, he decided not to go to Vrindavan and he came back. This is the third endeavor. Then fourth endeavor was directly when he started from Puri through Jarikanda forest, taking only 2 assistants, Balabhadra Bhattacharya and one more Brahmana assistant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavana. He stayed for 2 months in Vrindavan. 1515 was the year when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached Vrindavan. Now, what is the thing? How many years? 1515, 20, 23. So, 508 years Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visit to Vrindavan. So, he came on the Kartika Paurnami. The last Paurnami, what had happened? He entered Vrindavan. He stayed till January 1st because he wanted to go to that Maghamasa Snana. Maghamasa Snana means Sankranti. So from there, from Vrindavan to walk to, what is that? Triveni Sangamam. So it would have taken 10-15 days. So somewhere around January 1st week, he would have left Vrindavan. So he stayed for 2 months. Chaitanya Charitamrita says he stayed for 2 months. So that is November 1st, 1515 till January 1st week, 1516. So that was a time period when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in Vrindavan. So even for the Supreme Lord to have darshan of Vrindavana, it took 4 attempts. Then what to speak for us? Should we become angry by the circumstances? So, certain times it is the will of the Lord, sometimes even if we purchase a ticket and if we sit in the train or the flight, but still we may not have darshan. So we have to accept this scenario. Similarly, one more scenario was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when we wanted to have darshan of Jagannatha. What actually happened there? So Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Kamalapure Asi Bargi Nadi Snana Kaila Nityananda Hate Prabhu Danda Darila. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was near to Jagannath Puri. So after finishing Sakshi Gopal, all these things and all, they came near, after crossing Bhuvaneshwar, they were on the way. This is almost like some 10 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri. This is Bargi Nadi. Bargi Nadi, there was a river which processed the area. Today it is called as Dandabanga Nadi. So at that place, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu handed over his danda to Nityananda Prabhu and he went to take bath. Kopateshwara Deki Gela Bhaktagana Sange Eta Nityananda Prabhu Kaila Dandavange. So there was a deity of Lord Shiva there, Kopateshwara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went with his associates to have darshan there. In the meantime, Nityananda Prabhu broke his danda into 3 pieces. Tina Kanda Kari Danda Dila Bhashana Bhakta Sange Aila Prabhu Mahesha Dekina. In the meantime, Nityananda Prabhu broke his sannyasa danda into 3 parts and threw it into the river. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was busy in his darshan of ecstatic darshan of having with the associates darshan of the Lord. Jagannadera Duila Deki Avishta Hoila Dandavat Kari Preme Nachite Lagila. From far, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could see the tower of Lord, the temple tower of Lord Jagannatha. He became very ecstatic. He paid obeisances and he started chanting and dancing. Bhaktagana avishta hona sabe nacha gaya premaveshe prabhu sange rajamarge aya. So they all became ecstatic and they all started walking into the royal road towards Jagannath Puri. Hase kande nache prabhu hunkara garjana teen krosha pata hoila sahasra yojana. The distance was only 6 miles. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking like it was like some millions and trillions of dura. Because he was experiencing that yuga itam nimishana, every moment like years and long. Chalite chalite prabhu aila ala ataranala tahanasi prabhu kicha bahya prakashila. So he came to the bridge which has 18 chambers. That's why it is known as Atarnara bridge. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, it is entrance of Jagannath Puri, he came to external consciousness. Nityananda kahe Prabhu, deha mora danda. Nityananda bole, danda haila tina kanda. He asked Nityananda Prabhu, where is my sannyasa staff? Nityananda Prabhu said, it broke into 3 pieces. Prema veshe padila tumi, tomara dharinu, toma saha sei danda upare padinu. When you are in ecstatic dance, you fell down, I went to catch you, and both of us fell down on your danda and it became into 3 pieces. Dui jana bhare danda kanda kanda hoila, say kanda kanha padila, kichu na janila. Because of our ecstasy, that danda broke into pieces. I don't know where that pieces are now. Mora aparade tomara danda haila kanda, ye uchita hoya mora kara tara danda. So because of my negligence, your sannyasa danda has been broken. Now I am an offender. Please punish me whatever way you think I am responsible for it. Suni kichu Mahaprabhu dukkha prakashila ishat krodha kari kichu kahite lagila. When he heard, he became little unhappy. He became little angry and he exhibited his mentality. Nilachale ani mora sabe hita hokkaila. All of you brought me to Nilachala and you have done me a great favor for me. Sabe danda dhana chila tahana rakila. And this is my only position, this danda. And you have taken that away. Tabe saba aage yaya Ishvara dekite kiba ami aage yai na yaba sahite. He said, I am not going to go with you. Either you go first or I will go first. Mukunda datta kahe Prabhu tumi yaha aage ame saba pache yaha na yaba tomara sange. So Mukunda datta said, my dear Lord, you go first. We will all not come with you. We will come later. Eta suni Prabhu aage chalila shigra gati bujita na pare keha dui Prabhu ramati. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started walking very swiftly and nobody could understand what is the mentality between these 2 Prabhus. Why Nityananda Prabhu, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knowingly handed over that danda to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu understanding the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why did he break? So in the purport Prabhupada explains, see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is holding what danda? Ekadanda sannyasi. So he is having that danda which is meant for Mayavadi sannyasi. So Nityananda Prabhu was thinking, see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the highest sannyasi, Paramahamsa. And for Paramahamsa there is no rule of carrying this danda, all these things and all. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is no obligation for him to carry danda. You are beyond rules and regulations. That's why Nityananda Prabhu thought this danda is as an obstacle. It is bringing down his position. I don't want his danda to bring him to a normal sannyasi. That's why he broke into pieces and he threw. This is one version. Another version says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Vaishnava sannyasi. Why he is holding Mayavada sannyasi? In that way also Nityananda Prabhu was also saying. That's why he broke it into 3 pieces. So different acharyas give different opinion. But the thing is, Nityananda Prabhu had done understanding the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could know because he is the super soul in everyone's heart. He could read why Nityananda Prabhu had did. But still, as a pastime, he became angry and he started walking faster. Avesha Chalila Prabhu Jagannatha Mandire, Jagannatha Deki Prema Hoila Astire. So he reached Jagannatha temple. As soon as he saw Jagannatha, he became very ecstatic and he became very restless. Jagannatha Alingate Chalila Dhana Mandire Padila Preme Avishtahana. He started running towards Jagannatha to hug him. But because of his extreme ecstasy, he fell down in between, becoming unconscious. Daive Sarvabhauma Tanhake Kare Darshana Padicha Marite Tenho Kaila Nivarana. So by will of the Lord, the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could see the situation, because in the meantime, the security guards there in front of the deity came forward to hit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhura Saindarya Ara Premara Vikara Deki Sarvabhauma Haila Vishmita Apara. By seeing the external beauty, the ecstatic symptoms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma became very astonished. Bahukshana Chaitanya Nahe Bogera Kala Hoila Sarvabhauma Manek Tabe Upaya Chintila. Because it was time for the Lord Jagannatha for the offering. So they wanted to clear the entire area. So Sarvabhauma was thinking, what should I do now? Shishya Padicha Dvara Prabhu Nila Vahana Gare Ani Pavitra Sane Rakila Shoyana. So understanding that it is not possible, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not waking up, with his help of his Shishyas and that watchman, they picked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and brought him to his home and made him sleep in a sanctified place. Swasa Praswasa Nahi Udara Spandana Dekiya Chinchita Hoila Bhattacharya Ramana. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body was there, there was no air movement. So he could not understand whether he is alive or what is happening to his body, because he could not see any breathing and happening. Sukshma Tula Ani Nasa Agrete Darila. He took a swab of cotton and he placed at the nose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ishat Chalaya Tula Deki Dairya Hoila. There was a slight movement because of the air. So then he could understand, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is alive. He is not passed away. Vasi Bhattacharya Mane Karena Vichara E Krishna Mahapremera Satvika Vikara. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saying, this is the ecstatic, highest ecstatic symptom of love of Lord Krishna. Sudipta Satvika Ye Nama Ye Pralaya Nitya Siddha Bhakte Ye Sudipta Bhava Hoya. So this ecstatic symptom is known as Sudipta Satvika, which is exhibited only in ecstatic devotee of very highest cadre. It is not in an ordinary devotee. So he was wondering, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibiting what is mentioned in the Shastras of very pure devotees of the highest cadre. Eta Chinti Bhattacharya Achena Vasiya Nityanandadi Simhadvare Milila Asiya. So in the meantime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was contemplating about the personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the meantime, Nityananda Prabhu and all the associates reached the Dwara of Lord Jagannatha temple. And they were wondering what happened to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They started hearing from nearby people that a sannyasi came, he fell down in the ecstasy and he was carried to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. They were hearing from people, they could understand that Vaishnava sannyasi is none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the meantime, there was the associate of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya by name Gopinath Acharya, who is a resident of Mayapur only place. So he came there. When he came there, he could see Mukunda Datta, he could understand the devotee. He went there, paid obeisances to Mukunda Datta, he paid obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu. Then they started conversing. Then he was asking, where is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? They said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come here, had darshan. He was taken to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And then Gopinath Acharya then said, let us go to the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house and we'll meet him there. Then we'll come back and have darshan of Lord Chaitanya. See, here also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was obstructed in his eagerness to have darshana. But a security guard came there to hit him. But still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in a different mood. He did not become angry. See, sometimes when Vaishnavas, should we become angry when we are obstructed in devotional service? Or should we be silent and accept the situation? What should we do now? What should we do? So accept silence. See, if it is sanctioned by the Lord only, then only it is happening to me. If it is not sanctioned by the Lord, it will not happen. We can contemplate later and understand the circumstances, why, what provoked that situation later. But at that time, becoming silent is because if we become angry, we will be committing Vaishnava Aparadha. So better than committing Vaishnava Aparadha, safeguard our own spiritual interests and be silent at that particular moment. So similarly, one more pastime is there, small pastime. This is again of Lord Jagannatha and the eagerness of one devotee. So, about 500 years ago, there lived a wonderful devotee by name Jagadish Ganguli near Mayapur place. So, it was near a small village near Mayapur. He was in an advanced age. And every year he used to walk to Jagannath Puri and come back, total distance of 900 kilometers up and down, roughly. So he used to go have darshan of, meet associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he used to have Jagannath darshan and all these things and all. He used to come back every year, this was his routine. But in his advanced age, as he was becoming older, his eyesight was lost. He was becoming blind. He could not see things much clearly. So as a situation has come this year again for Jagannath Rath Yatra, he was thinking of going. But the other devotees were saying, it is too difficult for you, 900 kilometers and you are a blind devotee. It is very difficult for you to traverse to Jagannath Puri and come back on time, because blind person, his walking speed and others walking speed, it will be very inconvenient. So accepting the situation, he thought, what can I do? He stayed back and he started contemplating. He was thinking, what an unfortunate person I am. I could not meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I could not have darshan of Lord Jagannatha. And he was staying at his house and he was just relishing the memories of his earlier years' experience. So that night, because of his intense separation from the Lord, when he went to sleep, he had a dream in which Lord Jagannatha appeared. And he said, I am very much happy with your devotional mood. Tomorrow morning when you go to take bath in the river, so when you dip in the river, one log will come. As soon as that log touches your head, your eyesight will be restored. Now you take that log to a nearby village where there is one specific sculptor who will carve my deity Jagannath out of it. But you have to give him one instruction that this person is having leprosy, so his hands are all will not be possible. You have to convince him to carve this deity. As soon as he carves his deity, he will become a normal man. So next day morning he went there. He was waiting eagerly when it will become sunrise so that he can go and take bath. So he went to river. He paid obeisances to Ganga. He entered into the river, and as predicted by the Lord, a log came, touched his head, and his eyesight came back. So he picked up that log. He took to his house. Then he started looking for that village. He went to that person who was that leper, who was that sculptor. Then he went and asked him, my dear sir, this is a request from the Lord to carve a Jagannath deity. He showed his hands. His fingers were all wrinkled. There was no skin out of his hands. It was full of pus, and if he tries to lift his fingers, blood and pus were coming out of his fingers. But he somehow started speaking to him. He started convincing him. He started encouraging him. Finally, that person agreed to carve Jagannath deity. But as he was started beating, his hands were shaking, and the blood was continuously running out. So much pain he was going through. But he sat next to him. He continuously narrated the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Jagannatha. He made him comfort. He made him pacify. He made him enthusiasm, everything and all. So finally, after a few days of his extreme pain, he finally finished the Jagannath deity. And when the Jagannath deity was finished, his hands came back to normal situation. He became very happy that Jagannatha had blessed him by giving this opportunity. So they took the deity, that they put him in a sanctified place, and they started worshipping Lord Jagannatha. In the meantime, he had one more dream in which he requested to carve from neem wood another deities of Baladeva and Subhadra also, so that they are complete. So that carpenter this time agreed to do the duty on behalf of the Lord. So the other two deities were also carved, and they were placed onto the altar, and a small temple was built, and this pujari was taking care of, the devotee was taking care of worshipping of the deities. Over a period of time, the generation after generation, it became a dilapidated place. The deities vanished from vision, and after maybe 70 years, 80 years before, from now means around 1970 to another 50 years means around 100 years before, around 19th century starting. So people were wondering where the temple is. Suddenly one person, when they were living there, he saw there was a mound of termite hill. On that there was one specific bluish color flower which is coming there. And some light was glowing out of that flower. So one person, he became inquisitive. He went there and he tried to pluck that flower from that. Then he heard from the termite hill, please bring me out. Please give me water. I am very thirsty. When he heard that, he became surprised. Who is there inside? Somebody is trapped inside or what? He started bringing spade and everything. He started digging out. And finally, when they started clearing the entire area, he found inside termite hill, with fully termite surrounded, a wooden deity of Lord Jagannatha, Baldev, Subhadra. Not even an inch happened to the devotees. Termites are the biggest enemies of wood, but the deities remained fresh as it is 500 years back, how they are carved. So in that way the deities have brought back again, and temple was built and the worship started. And in between, somewhere around 1980 or sometime, the worship was not happening very nicely. The offerings were not happening. So this is a local story what we heard from other devotees. It is said that Jagannatha used to walk up to the temple of Radha Madhav, and he used to go and snatch away the offerings of Radha Madhav and eat it. So Radha Madhav was complaining, he is eating away my offerings. So one day when Brahmana, when the Pujari who was doing the deity service, he saw suddenly after closing the temple, they go home. So suddenly he came for some other purpose, he saw Jagannatha walking on the road, in the fields towards Mayapur. Then he went and asked, my dear Lord, where are you going? He said, see, you people are not feeding me properly. Radha Madhav is being fed properly. I wanted to go there and eat there. So then they thought, okay, we will not be able to handle. So finally, they discussed among them and handed over that temple responsibility to ISKCON, so that the deity here is also taken care like Radha Madhav. So the same offerings, what they do that the standard in the temple has been offered to Jagannath also, so that he need not travel every day there to have his lunch there. In that way, the temple came back under the control of ISKCON. But still, how the devotee, that eagerness to have darshan of Lord Jagannatha, manifested for him the opportunity to serve Lord Jagannatha. So, when there is an eagerness, when there is an obstruction in our eagerness, we should be patient, thinking that we are not yet ready for the situation. Let us wait and let us take it further when the Lord sanctions. I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? So, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand. Activities in the conditioned stage are enacted for personal sense gratification. Darshan Śrī Bhaktivedanta Parvat. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Śrī Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here the Kumāras, the reaction of Kumāras when they are forbidden by the Vaikuntha doorkeepers is explained here. Tabhyam mishatsu animisheshu nishidyamanaha. Tabhyam, by the Jaya Vijaya. Mishatsu animisheshu nishidyamanaha. Mishatsu, while their eyes, like fish, they are also called as animishesha. They do not blink their eyes. They are in the water, but they see within the water. For us, within the water means we close our eyes. So that
Hare Krishna Golden Temple వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణ వాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700.